Were you able to touch base with Brett before
Brett. No, I think he was puking his guts out all day. He didn't seem like he was in too good of shape.
Do you want to start the
Start the
intro there?
broadcast?
It's already live.
Well, you know, I don't know why we would want to start the intro.
Amy, Andrew, Brett, JK.
Yeah.
Stop screwing around.
All right.
It's about to start.
Really?
In 5, 4,
3, 2. Oh, there's no 2, 1.
Now, from somewhere in North America, it's The Blast. It's the show about everything, yet teaches you nothing.
Nothing.
And still leaves you wanting so much more. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained as never before.
Never before.
And now, here is the man that Gandhi gives his credit to.
Yes, he does.
For his personal inspiration.
Yes, he does.
JK.
JK in the house. And we don't have anybody else in the house except the
Just
one person who really makes the show and really matters is Amy.
I don't know about that, but
how you doing, Amy?
How are you?
So super. So as we were talking before we went on the air, we know that the man from the Great White North, Andrew, fell and hit his head today. Apparently, well, not really, but he won't be on because he's got his ass sewn to the sofa. And Brett, the man of many mysteries, is sick today. I think he honestly might be fighting just a touch of Ebola because he was on a plane. Yeah, he was on a plane.
Okay.
He comes back, and he says that he's sick, sicker than a dog, and he's got all the symptoms. So what would you make of it? I mean, what
well, I hope he's not. I hope he doesn't have Ebola. That won't be very good.
No. Hey, just so that we're clear on this, and I think I'm going to share this before we really get into topics. I embedded our show on Facebook on our page, so I'm going to put it on your timeline real quick.
Okay.
Amy, click here. We are live. So says Amy.
So says me.
So that's kind of cool. It's a brand new little thing, trick that I just learned. Embedding the show so that all you do is you click the link, and you don't have to be a part of Google Plus to watch. You don't have to go over to YouTube. It just feeds you the YouTube link right on Facebook.
Cool.
And I'm going to try yours and just see if it works. Oh, and it does. Holy mackerel. We're better than we thought.
Are we sure? Yeah?
No. So I think
it says live. Well, there you go. It says live. Yep.
It does, right? Now you can't listen to it though because you'll have feedback.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to listen in later. You look great. You redo your hair like all the time. You're like Megan Kelly or something.
You gotta mix it up, Jim. You gotta mix it up.
Man, I mean, like.
Sometimes I straighten it. Sometimes it's up like a Sarah Palin look. Sometimes it's down and wavy. It's muggy and kind of. It's a frizzy hair day, so I had to kind of scrunch it and put it into curls.
Nice, very good.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get to your topics, I mentioned I jumped in here like at 1 minute to 7 because it's my daughter's birthday today, and so in honor of her, I'm gonna embarrass her a little bit because she's gonna watch the show back. So I'm gonna do something, and I'm not gonna sing because I already sang it. To Ashley, that's Ashley on the left with the arrow pointed at her, and there's Crystal. They both look quite a bit alike, don't they?
Yes, they do.
If I
beautiful ladies
in the middle, be here at 2. Ashley, I think she is. Oh, get that stupid song off there. That's funny.
You don't like that, huh?
She's 29 or 30 today.
Really?
30? Yeah. Incredible.
Hmm.
I'm an old
Beautiful.
man.
Huh.
I'm an old man. Hey, so I'm going to jump right in.
Or you had her young.
Yeah, I had kids when I was 14, 15.
There you go. There you go.
Wasn't either of those two. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm teasing.
Brat.
Been married 33 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to start with your segment because we've got some cool stuff to talk, not cool stuff to talk about tonight, but I was
Important
intrigued
stuff.
yeah, it's important. So we're gonna start your segment right.
In a messed up place these days, bruh. That's why
But I'm going to start at the beginning, if that's okay.
Okay.
bro,
I'll let you.
Bro.
Attention.
Hey,
The
bro.
world's a pretty confusing.
You've been
messed
paying
up place
attention,
these days,
yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, bro.
That's why I like to get grounded by listening to All
All
Out
Out
Amy's
Amy.
World Events. It helps me get
Plus.
centered, man. And
That's
now
me.
here's Amy.
And now here's Amy.
That's me.
Right on.
Well, you wanted me. You did a request. You wanted me to talk about the Ebola situation and the Ebola story.
I did.
That's
And
what
I
you
want-
requested.
And it is world events, but I don't want you to be tied down to just world events because you're too good to be.
Well, I consider
That would have
U.S.
sounded.
stuff.
That would have been.
also.
Yeah, but that would have sounded horrible. I was going to say I don't want you to be tied down. So
Some
yeah,
people would actually like that. No, I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
No, I know.
I wanted to just start out by saying first, and people keep saying, you don't be an alarmist and all this kind of crap. Okay, so first, it's important to understand that Ebola has never been off of the African continent. So we don't know. I mean, there have been Marburg has been over in Germany, but Ebola has never really been off the African continent. So we have no idea how it's going to interact with our everyday life and how we do things here. Do we have better health care than Liberia or or Sierra Leone or Nigeria, the Congo? Yeah, of course we do. But we
And
still
when-
don't have.
And when you say better healthcare, not just the healthcare system, but more sanitary living conditions.
Yeah, I mean,
Healthcare-wise,
but
all
over there, it's like one of the big things is hugging and kissing and things like that. So even if their children are sick, they're going to hug and kiss them and things like that. So it's easily spread over there.
Mm-hmm.
But over here, I mean, how many times have you seen someone go to the bathroom and walk right out without washing their hands and touching that knob and just walking out because they somehow think that they're cleaner than, the rest of us? So it's not like everyone in America is so incredibly
It's not
clean.
like I peed on myself last time either.
You know what I'm saying. Well,
Just kidding.
But back probably 10 years ago or so, I read the book The Hot Zone, and it's a book by Richard Preston. And it's not a fictitious book. It's true accounts of how Ebola was brought. It starts out with Ebola Zaire, named after the Zaire River, okay? After the Ebola River in Zaire, I should say. And it first emerged in the Sudan and in Zaire. The first break, they named it Ebola Sudan. And the next one was Ebola Zaire.
Those were outbreaks.
Those are outbreaks, okay? And obviously in Sudan and Zaire. Now, they actually don't have any clue. This gentleman in Montana who actually discovered the disease, he's an expert on the history of Ebola, and he said that they still have no clue, absolutely no clue how it's been transmitted or what the host is. They assume it's bats because they find it in bats, but they've also found it in monkeys and pigs. Okay, so they call it a natural reservoir. They have no idea what the natural reservoir is. The third
Now,
strain of
do you believe that though, that they don't know? Because America, I'm sure that there are several different strains of Ebola,
mhm.
but America actually holds a patent on Ebola. I think we brought that up last week, maybe.
I'm not sure if we did or not, but I know that from everything that I've read, I mean, starting with the hot zone, they can't pinpoint it to one host.
Right.
So every once in a while, all of a sudden, something like Ebola or Marburg would come out, and they're both similar diseases. Marburg, depending, the mortality rate can be in either outbreak can be 50 to 90%. Okay, so but let's see, the third strain was Ebola restin, and the book, The Hot Zone, deals with Ebola restin, which was first identified in 1989 when infected monkeys were imported into Reston, Virginia, from the Philippines. Now, they had the monkeys in this facility. They were all in separate rooms, and somehow Ebola restin mutated and became airborne. It went through the vents. It started killing all the monkeys in different rooms.
Hmm.
A couple of humans were actually infected with Ebola restin, but it never turned into the hemorrhagic. They never got the hemorrhagic
When you talk about
symptoms.
hemorrhagic, you mean about bleeding, right? Hemorrhaging?
Basically, you're in. What happens with Ebola in the end stages is that all of your organs are totally there. It's a mush of stew inside of you, and you
Hmm.
bleed out of every orifice: your ears, your nose, your eyes, your anus, your penis,
Ah.
vagina. Everything bleeds, and you just bleed out.
Hmm.
So it's pretty horrific. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it says. This is the scary part. Now, they keep saying in airports and things like that they're scanning for fevers. Well, the incubation period can be anywhere from 2 to 21 days. So,
Right.
so if you're coming off and maybe you just had sex with someone in Zaire,
Mm-hmm. But you
they
still
don't,
feel like $1,000,000. You still
you
feel
still
great.
feel like $1,000,000. You're coming over, the flight's
No
19
fever.
hours, you're fine, you're coming through, and you go home and you now interact with your family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it says the communicability, communicable as long as blood, bodily fluids, or organs containing the virus. I mean, as long as you don't come into contact with any of those, that's fine. But it says Ebola virus has been isolated from semen 61 to 82 days after the onset of the illness, and transmission through semen, and it has occurred in 7 weeks after clinical recovery.
Hmm.
Okay, so and then
Now here's
the
here's the question I've got, and I don't
mhm.
know if you
That
studied this or if
that
they've got
source
an
was from
answer
public. That source was from the Public Health Agency of Canada. So I pulled that one out special
for Andrew.
Andrew, and he wasn't here.
Hmm.
It's okay. Go
Well,
ahead, William.
so let's say, for instance, you go over and you pick up an Ebola infected person because you're trying to help them, and you lay them down on their cot, pat them on the head, tell them I'm so sorry, and they die. Then you go back over to America, but you still feel like $1,000,000.
Which
And
is
then
what
you
that
go out to the nightclub.
guy did.
Yeah, you go out to the nightclub, you pick somebody up, you have sex, you go out, you do it again, kind of a player, and then about 2 weeks later you're catching a fever, you're not feeling so good.
Mm-hmm.
Are all those people that you had sex with while you were feeling good but carrying the disease that hadn't turned itself on yet in you, they would be infected too, right?
It becomes infectious when your symptoms start. So if you started to have a sniffly nose or started sneezing or something like that, because remember all the beginning symptoms of Ebola are exactly like the flu. So that makes it scary coming into flu season. How many
Right.
people are going to just have the flu and freak out thinking they have Ebola, and then vice versa? How many people can say, I just have the flu, don't worry about it?
So you could have
And
done all of what I said, though,
mhm.
and been feeling great, go out to the club, do your thing, have your one night stands, do all that, and have it in you, but not affect anybody,
Yet.
not infect anybody until you go, oh shit, man, I feel bad. now it's turned on the light inside you.
Right.
Now it's okay. So
Right.
it's only
Once the
infectious
symptoms have
once
started
the
to
symptoms
manifest.
start. That's what they're saying.
Yep. So
Okay.
according to who? With CDC. I mean, I don't even know why we even listen to them at all. I don't know what their deal is,
I
but
wish I could do
for
some sort of a. Never mind. I
I
was going
mean,
to say I wish I could do some sort of a stupid who's on first, but I
you
won't.
know what I mean? It's like, but the World Health Organization, they're actually more credible than the CDC as far as I'm concerned. And they put out a notice saying that this was as of October 6th, that the Ebola virus has also been detected in breast milk, urine, semen, and in convalescent males, the virus can persist in semen for at least 70 days. One study suggests persistence for more than 90 days. So for 3 months after you've gotten better,
Mm-hmm.
your semen still could carry the virus.
Hmm.
Okay, and then it says saliva and tears may also carry some risk. So you have the nurse down there, and the CDC says the CDC has come out with a statement. Originally, it said that healthcare workers in the United States, all they need is gloves, gowns, masks, and face shields or goggles to protect them, and that was enough. And then they said the health workers are like, okay, why are we seeing in Africa, all the pictures that are coming out, they're all in those major biohazard full body suits with the the respiration mask and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, if they need it there, then why don't we need it here? So
Right.
obviously we do, because the nurse in Spain got infected and the
Right.
nurse down here got infected in Dallas.
Hey,
Nobody
before
knows.
have you heard anything at all about the sheriff who went in there and then they said, hey, he was feeling sick, he went on to the hospital?
Hmm.
Have they brought him up in the last day or two?
Yeah, they said that he doesn't have. Well, that's what kills me. They said, oh, he doesn't have it. Well, they monitored. Well, he had a sore throat and he felt crappy and crampy and all this. He had a headache. He doesn't have it, but I don't. Unless he miraculously got better, you don't get better from the flu in 3 or 4 days. You know what I mean? So I'm not
So maybe
sure how
his
they can just
sickness.
dismiss it.
Well, I would think they could dismiss it though if they tested his blood and said, okay, you don't have it.
Well, but you don't know because it's up to 21 days. It could take up to 21 days to manifest.
Oh, I see, I see.
See what I'm saying? So anywhere from 2 to 21 days. So how on earth are we telling people, oh, that right here in Braintree in Massachusetts, the whole hospital shut down. They evacuated everything because a patient came in with the symptoms of Ebola. Now,
Right,
again, in 24 hours' time, they said he doesn't have it. Oh, how do we know? If they're coming
right.
from these countries, we have no idea. So that's what makes it so scary. You have no idea. It takes one single sneeze and a person not covering their nose and their mouth for those droplets to be airborne. And it's not necessarily airborne like just talking to someone or something, but you know what I mean? Like, how many
Right.
times have people sneezed and, we all know that we've all seen the slow motion of how far a sneeze goes.
Oh, yeah.
So if you happen to be sitting there and you get some on you, you get some on your lip or something and you don't realize it, you just don't know. It's so, we have no idea. See, there's that R. We have no idea what,
What's that? No idea. Yeah, but you
oh, no
said
idea.
you did good to get an R. See, you say Massachusetts people say R's when they're not supposed to.
Right.
They
Yep.
can't say them when they are supposed to.
Exactly.
That's
Although
funny.
we were here first, so I say that
Yeah,
you guys all should be talking like us.
that's true. Now, did you see on CNN yesterday, I think it was, Dr. Sanjay Gupta?
No, I
I
don't
just
ever
show.
put on CNN ever.
No,
The
I'm
Communist News
so
Network lost me a long time ago.
that's funny. I used to say that I'm so far right that I can't. I got to sit on the right side in church. I sit on the right side in the movie theater.
Exactly.
You name it, right?
Right.
Um, but anyways, he do it. I was floating around, accidentally tuned onto it. No,
Hmm.
so they were talking about the Ebola thing and how this nurse could possibly have gotten it, and he did something really interesting. He decided to gown up, put
Hmm.
everything on that you would get if you were going to go in and treat an Ebola patient. So then he had his gloves, and he had a lady come up and pour Hershey's chocolate sauce on his hands. It goes like this. He goes, okay, now I'm infected. My hands have, I'm not infected, but my hands have touched an Ebola patient. But it's okay
Right.
because I got my gloves on and I got my suit on. I'm completely protected. But now I need to take it off.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, so here you go. He goes, boom, and he pulls it off, and that part's off. He goes, okay, now my gloves got to come off. And at that point, when he was doing it, one of his gloves came off with everything, but the other glove didn't. He goes, okay, so now I've got to take this finger and I've got to get it, whoops, I've got
Under.
to get
Yep.
it under here and pull that glove off. He goes, now I
Yep.
got my mask. So I get my mask and I got that. So once he was all done, he goes, okay, look, I now have a little bit of chocolate sauce here. I have a little bit of chocolate sauce here that I barely, just accidentally had done that. He goes, that's how easy it is to get yourself infected.
Yeah, because you have that now. It's invisible, right? Pretty much, you're not thinking unless it's a big blood smear. You may not know what's on there, the bodily fluid. Now your wife or
Right.
your daughter comes over and gives you a kiss on the neck, and now all of a sudden it's in their mouth, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, WHO has also come out. They warned that Ebola cases could soar to 10,000 a week in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone by the end of the year. If you don't
Wow.
think those people, I mean, if we're not stopping flights and we're not, like I said, American citizens, they have the right to come home, absolutely. But they should be quarantined for the 21 days. And if they show no symptoms, fine, come home. If
Dr.
you,
Ben Carson said something smart yesterday. He said they need, number one, you need to stop the flights. But number two, you need to have one hospital, one that is completely set up, does nothing except Ebola
mm-hmm,
patients, and if it only has one or two patients for now or whatever, but you can't have Ebola patients going into hospitals all over the country.
yep. I
You
don't
need
know
to
how
have
many
a place.
nurses have contacted me and talked to me privately saying, they're scared shitless because they know they don't have what it takes. Look at the in JFK. Even the people who go in and clean the cabins and in the planes are like, no, we're not doing it. You can't protect us. We have nothing to protect us from that bathroom or anything that's in the seats because you got to go in there and dig it out. And people are gross. I mean,
Yeah,
people are gross. So right now there's almost 9,000 Ebola cases. 4,400 of them have died. It's a 50% rate right now, and they're saying that could skyrocket up to 90%. So
here's what I
for
would love to
anyone
know.
to dismiss this as, oh, you haven't been near an infected person, how do you know? How does anyone know? How does anyone know any of those people in Dallas didn't come up to Vermont for vacation
Right,
for a week or two? Or one of those kids, they may have talked to their teacher, and nobody knows at this point how many people really have been affected by that
right.
one person. And I know it's going to blow up into this whole race riot because he wasn't an American citizen. He wasn't given the serum. The nurse was. So they say she's getting better. The one in Spain's getting better, they say.
Well, they gave the woman, the nurse, they gave her, I'm trying to think, blood from the
Right.
doctor
Right.
who did get it,
With the
and
antibodies.
there's the antibodies, and they're saying that the first black guy,
Hmm.
he didn't have the right blood match, so he couldn't get it, or something like that. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, yeah, but the fact of the matter is, it's like they're saying something like $50,000 to $100,000 to treat the Ebola patients. He had no insurance. He's not even an American citizen. I
Oh,
mean,
oh, oh.
realistically,
Can I say
yeah.
something? I hate to interrupt, but that's what I've been doing all night so far. But I'm digging the conversation. Um,
Hmm.
they're talking about how racist this whole thing is, and he didn't get this help and that help or whatever.
Hmm.
Who the hell paid for this guy's medical care? We all
Probably
did,
we are. Yeah, we are.
and the American taxpayers. This guy didn't have
Yep.
insurance, so who
Right.
paid his bills?
I don't. It's one thing, like I said, if you're an American citizen and you're going to come home, you want to come home or you need to come home, but you need to be quarantined. And anyone going over to those countries should be forewarned. If you go, when you come back, it's going to be 21 days before you can come back. From the time you leave the city or the town in Liberia or wherever until you get to come on U.S. soil is going to be 21 days, period. No exceptions. I don't care
40
who
or
you
40
are.
years ago, and we had a TB outbreak 40 years ago, 50 years ago in America. You get quarantined. My dad was quarantined because
They'd be on a ship out in the harbor.
my dad was quarantined because he had TB.
Yeah.
Tuberculosis or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Anyways, go ahead.
It's ridiculous to say that we can't quarantine. This guy's coming from one of those countries. There's a massive outbreak. He's not an American citizen. He wants to come visit family. Well, I can appreciate that, but too bad. You know what I mean? Like you're going to bring something that's never been on U.S. soil. We have, not to mention that we have the enterovirus going around that's killing toddlers. What if the two of those meet?
I'm sorry, but do you know where that came from? I'm just going to say it.
From the illegals coming over the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can say it's a freaking mysterious virus.
No, it's no mysterious virus. It's from the illegals coming over the border. And it's just funny that now it's breaking out in all the areas where they sent all those illegals undercover, One of the things that's interesting, though, it's going to someone's going to get very rich off of this new mystery serum because
I'm pissed off that I didn't buy stocks in these companies.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, do you know one of the ingredients that one of the main ingredients that is being used to make this vaccine? Tobacco.
Tobacco. Yeah.
Tobacco.
Who still owns half the tobacco crops in America? Do you know who it is?
Mm-mm.
Look it up.
No, but you're going to tell me.
Al Gore. Al Gore's family, they're from Tennessee, and the whole family original business was tobacco crops. True story. True dat.
Well, the other interesting thing is they talk in this article, and this article is from Genetic Literacy. It's the Genetic Literacy Project, and they say when American Ebola patient Dr. Kent arrived in Atlanta, Georgia, he had reportedly already had one course of treatment with an experimental drug called ZMapp, made with the genetically engineered tobacco. Although it has only been tested previously in animals, the FDA is rumored to want to fast track it, blah, 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 blah. But they're talking about, now they're saying, all the people who don't like genetically modified things, now it's proving to it's key in saving, Americans' lives.
Hey, can I put you on hold for 1 second?
Yeah.
I was checking out something here when I'm looking at stuff when we're talking. Mm-hmm. Megyn Kelly is on, or I don't know, she was on earlier.
I just was watching her. Yep.
That idiot, Dr. Tom Frieden, who's
he's such an idiot.
The Ebola death rate reaches 70% now for all the infected people over there. 70%. Because I was gonna ask you. It's like, okay, so you said it was at the time it was 50% of the people. Yeah. So I want to know about the 50% of the people that beat it. How'd they beat it? Did they 50% really beat it? So now it's down to 30% that beat it. I wonder if that's
we have no idea. We have no idea because half of those I don't want to call them tribes, but villages and stuff. Yeah. Well, first of all, they're running and they're hiding. They're dying in the bush. You know what I mean? They're not. It's not like they're coming forward. They think that a lot of these people are bringing it. I've seen a lot of the. I was hoping Brett was going to come beyond because there have been so many conspiracy theories out there, and everything I'm telling you is not. There's nothing conspiracy theorist about what I'm telling you. This is all
they're attacking aid workers over there because they think the aid workers are bringing it.
Right, but I'm saying there's conspiracy theory out there right now saying that the U.S. is bringing the troops down there to enforce forced mandatory vaccinations, but the vaccination is actually a deadly form of Ebola. So they're trying to do it through population control, blah, 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 blah. And so I was hoping Brett was going to come on and talk about something like that because I thought it would be interesting to see what he pulled up. But
can when you're doing, because you got more to say on this, but I got something to say about that right there. So
Mm-hmm.
let me know when it's time that I can say my conspiracy
You
theory.
can take, because I'm gonna go on to another little. I'm gonna take a little sidetrack from here. So go ahead and.
Okay,
Take.
here's my conspiracy theory, and it's not conspiracy, it's real. Because if I say it, it's real. No, I'm just kidding. Here's what I think. All right, call me nuts, but here's what I think. Last year, Obama quietly, but it's public record, signed a bill saying that, or an edict or whatever he calls it, is pen, allowing foreign troops to come on American soil under the auspice of FEMA in case of a national emergency. You knew about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Russian troops are already stationed over here in Idaho and other places, but that's another story. But they're able to operate under FEMA, under national emergency. Huh.
This is an urgent notice. You told Mom that I don't ever wear this. I wear this every day.
Oh, we're in the middle of a show, and we have an urgent notice because I bought.
You said those girls never wear this ring. You can even ask.
Do you hear what's going on?
I wear this.
Actually, bring it over here. Look at this cute ring.
I wear this every single day.
Wait, watch. Right there. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's a very cute ring.
Right? Right?
Yep.
I bought that for what? Christmas?
Yeah. Every single day I wear this.
And I said to her,
accuse me of never wearing
I said to her,
you said to me.
It's my daughter Ashley. Happy birthday, Ashley.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Every day.
I played a happy birthday for you on the air.
Oh, good.
Okay. Now 3 million people are watching you, so go away.
No, I'm just proving a point.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
Because you told Mom that I never wear this.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. She wears it every day. It's a ring.
So what goes to show, since I wear it every day, it goes to show that you never look at me.
I look at you all the time. I just don't stare at your finger. Just don't give me the other finger. And tell your mom to make me a latte.
I mean, but don't you think that hurt? Don't you think you should feel bad?
I do feel bad. I feel horrible.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Love you.
I don't want. Mom said you're going to give me Cracker Jack something this year, and I don't. I want something else.
Oh, I was going to get her a Cracker Jack ring because I said she didn't wear it.
There you
go. All right. So, here's my theory. Because why did he sign that last year, right? In God's name, what would ever do that, okay? So that's one piece of the puzzle that's now here, one piece of the puzzle that's over here. Then we just start to have an outbreak. Now keep in mind, America does hold a patent. You can look it up anywhere on the internet. America does hold a patent on Ebola, and all of a sudden Ebola starts to get the outbreak, and then he refuses to stop flights to come in, and on top of that is going to send 3,000, minimum 3,000 troops into that area.
They added 1,000 Marines, so it's 4,000 at this point.
To allegedly just build hospitals and schools or whatever. These guys aren't builders and stuff. They're army men. They blow things up and kill people. That they're supposed to do things like that to protect us. But anyways, so now they're down there in this zone. What are they going to do? Work in spacesuits trying to build a school? But anyways, so my theory is these guys are going to come back on top of the flights that are open all the time and people getting sick, and this country is going to have an outbreak, and it's going to be massive, and FEMA will take over, and we'll have foreign troops on our soil, but that's a side issue. So a year from now, FEMA goes to take over, and we've got a national emergency on our hands. He will suspend elections, and they'll suspend elections for up to 2 years, and he will remain president.
I think you've mentioned that before. I don't personally believe that, but go ahead.
It's down on tape now, so we can look back at this.
Yep.
And here's my other theory with this. February, March-ish, after the elections, and not just like December, 1 month after the elections, but I'm going to look up and find out when a massive holy day is for the Muslims around December, January, February, right in there. He is going to make an announcement that he is converting to his father's religion. Now, we know he's already a Muslim, always has been, is, was, and forever, but he's going to make the announcement that he's converting to his father's religion of Islam. That's another piece to this puzzle.
You think?
I'm just saying. Now, who's got a better conspiracy theories than that? Certainly not Brett. He talks about shit up on the moon. I'm just kidding.
He's going to kick your ass for that.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, so go ahead. Now we can turn the corner since I got that off my chest.
That's okay. So, like I said, people can. It's not fear mongering. It's just it's better safe than sorry. Protect yourself by staying away from anyone who has a cold or anything right now who's in the Dallas area. I mean, some people are like, we should actually. I think Glenn Beck was talking about it today. Like vendors and people who were supposed to come there on business trips are all saying we're not going anywhere near Texas. So if people start to do that, that affects our economy in a huge way. I mean, I personally think it's a lot of the stuff. There's no other explanation other than it's being done on purpose. They let this guy come on purpose. They're bringing the doctors here on purpose. I don't know if it's to crash our economy because he wants us to crash like the rest of the world and be as poor as the rest of the world. That's what the leftists, and Obama's just a puppet, so it's not just him. As much as I abhor him, the rest of the crew that's actually pulling his strings, they want to crash the American economy. What better way to do it than to, infect half the population? The leftists have been talking about population control. People tell me I'm nuts. All you have to do is look back. The leftists have been talking about population control and how we need to kill off millions of people. They want to kill off, said something like 285 million people in America. I mean, to be able to, exist and survive.
They've already killed off a whole generation of people through abortion. Whatever you want to call it, women's right to choose or whatever, call it anything you want, a generation is gone. Never to come back.
Many generations, actually, but...
Yeah. 40 years worth of people are gone.
And mostly in the minority communities.
Yeah.
It was, that's another subject for another day.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that I came across, and I was flashing through some of the sites, and one of them said Glenn Beck. He put out a thing saying, "How dare you?" So I said, okay, let me just see what Glenn says. He can be a total kook, but there's no doubt at this point that his researchers do a lot of research because they've been called kooks. That he has to make sure everything is stellar.
Right.
So he came across this thing, I guess, and we got to post this one on the blast and on our pages. There's an ad that's coming out, and the title is Republican Cuts Kill.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually blaming the GOP and the Republican Party for cuts, which now are affecting our ability to fight Ebola.
Right.
So this is what they're saying, right? So I love Governor Bobby Jindal. He's great. He came out with the whole article, and it was on the Huffington Post, believe it or not, and then this one was also in the Politico, and he had said that the CDC is another example on the response to Ebola. They're working heroically, but they don't have the resources they used to have. That's what Clinton was saying, right? Hillary Clinton saying that CDC doesn't have the resources to fight Ebola. And when you break it down, it says, consider the Prevention and Public Health Fund, a new series of annual mandatory appropriations created by Obamacare. Over the past 5 years, the CDC has received just under $3 billion in transfers from the funds. Yet only 6%, $180 million of that $3 billion went toward building epidemiology and laboratory capacity. Especially given the agency's post-war roots as the Communicable Disease Center, one would think that detecting and responding to infectious diseases and other public health threats warrants a larger funding. Instead, the Obama administration has focused the CDC on other priorities. While protecting Americans from infectious diseases received only $180 million from the Prevention Fund, the Community Transformation Grant Program received nearly 3 times as much, $517.3 million over the same 5-year period. Now, what is that? What is that, right? The CDC's website makes clear the objectives of community transformation grants. The program funds neighborhood interventions like increasing access to healthy food by supporting local farmers and developing grocery stores. Can you believe this? Promoting improvable sidewalks and street lighting to make it safer for people to walk and ride bikes. Bike lanes and farmers markets may also help a community, but it does nothing to combat diseases like Ebola, SARS, and anthrax. Okay, so he's come out with this. So
it's total waste of money.
We have to post this. Well, it's a total waste of money, but now we're gonna have to post this video because the videos it's vile. It's like evil. You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous that the Democrats are coming out and they're gonna use it. Let me see if I can see who the.
They're freaking morons, what they are.
I see. You know, it's just unbelievable that they would even remotely try to do that and say that it's the Republican cuts from sequestration. You know, a year and a half ago. Where is it?
Well, you see.
Anyways, Clinton was the first one to say that, but now the other Democrats are going to jump on the bandwagon. So we're going to start seeing that ad run.
Well, you see all these interviews that Jesse Waters and Jimmy Kimmel and all these people do on the street and show the sheer idiocy of so many of the population out there, right? And so,
clueless.
Yeah, so just go ahead and run these commercials. People pick this stuff up in their head and they'll sing it like a song, and all of a sudden they believe this crap.
They'll believe it. They have no. I mean, what's to counter it? You know what I mean? They're okay. Well, CNN's telling me this, or, you know.
The line from the movie, if you build it, they will come, right? And that's the baseball movie. I forget what it was.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Built that damn thing out there in the farmland. Build it, they will come. If you feed them, they will eat it. So you just put that shit out there, and they will eat it. If you feed them, they will eat it.
It's absolutely true. You know, it's scary. It really is scary. So now the Ebola fears are spreading through Central America and the Caribbean, and now as vacation season's approaching, they're all afraid, and they're all afraid to have people go down there.
If we've got the best health care, you can't blame these people for wanting to sneak in here. They're going to lie. You don't want to die.
It's going to affect. What they're saying is it's going to affect tourism down in Central America and the Caribbean. But yeah, if they do get it, they're saying be prepared for hordes of people coming over the border like we've never seen before.
You can't blame this black guy who lied on the paper and tried to come here to get help. I mean, he didn't want to die.
I don't know. I think I can blame him.
Well, I mean,
that's pretty. If he knew he had it, that's pretty vile.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's not right, but if you were in his shoes, you would do anything you could to get to America and try to get into a hospital and get your life saved. But
that's not what he did.
Any of these guys are going to try and do that.
But that's not what he did. He went home and he went to meet his family. He interacted with a half a dozen children.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
it
wasn't like he was sick coming here trying. He knew that
he had get off the plane and try to get to a hospital.
No.
Okay, all right.
He got sick after the fact. Got sick after the fact. You know, being around like 30 people, 6 of the 6 kids out of those 6 children, they went to 5 different schools.
Right.
And then he got sick with flu-like symptoms. Went to the hospital. The nurse put in all it down that he had come from that area, from West Africa, that he had the symptoms of Ebola.
Okay, but let's back up for 2 seconds here to what you just said. Mm-hmm. He got off the plane, and he went home, and he interacted with all those people. But he wasn't feeling sick, correct?
Well, I don't know. They said he wasn't sick enough to go to the hospital. It wasn't like he had Ebola and needed to go to the hospital. So I don't know if he had any symptoms.
Sick is when he went to the hospital.
But he was sick enough that he was throwing up and stuff at that point.
Yeah. That's true. Before he went to the
You know,
hospital.
remember
Yeah. Right.
when they brought the ambulance, because they said that the nurse put everything in the documentation, that he had
Right.
come from West Africa, that he had the flu symptoms.
Yeah.
The doctor didn't see the nurses. Their systems are not linked, evidently, so the doctor
Right.
never saw her notes. So he goes and just writes an antibiotic and sends him home. Guy gets
This is
home,
going to
gets
be
worse.
this is going to be another. Here's an added piece to my conspiracy. There's going to be another reason to hammer home when they uh, have this Ebola spread all over the country, and we've got a massive problem too. It will be a national emergency that everybody will get chipped, because you need to be able to have that medical information scanned immediately, so it reads to this computer and this one, and everyone's tied in. That's another piece. And I've said it before, and we're going to do a show on it soon, sometime. It's not the problem. The problem isn't that they can track you, because they can do that now. The problem isn't that they've got your health records, because they got your health records now. If they want to pull up in front of your house in 5 minutes, they could probably do it in 3. They know where we're at. The problem is radio frequency. So when they get those chips in us, behavior modification. That's the secret right there. That's
Yeah,
my conspiracy theory.
they're talking about, it's not, that isn't even conspiracy theory. They're talking about right now. I posted an article a few months back about vets coming back with PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing their experimental brain chip that can help calm them down and can help, affect their moods. Well, if you can affect their moods and calm them down, what's to say that someone can't turn around and affect their mood and make them go ballistic, actually go off?
Okay, here's my theory on why the government, quote, one world order, knowing Obama's not the one who's in charge. He is a puppet of the puppet masters who are running the control of the world, right? The Antichrist and all this stuff that's coming. Here is my theory on why that's so important with behavior modification. Because if you believe anything at all about the Bible, then you believe that God gave us free will. And free will is the only thing somebody cannot take from you. They can take your life, they can take your money, they can take your cars, your house. Everything could be taken from you except your free will. Your free will to choose. I will or I won't. I choose to die for my belief. Whatever. But as soon as they turn that radio frequency on, and now you give away, you have no more free will, because you now are not worshiping the Antichrist like, oh, Allah Salima, but you are going along rejecting God and doing what they say to do, living your life the way they want. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I've always said, I think I do believe in some form of mind control, as far as, some of these people. I mean, a few years back, well, it's more than a few now, the guy who was just a everyday Joe Schmo citizen just walks into the Holocaust Museum, trying to get into the Holocaust Museum and just start gunning people down for no apparent reason. He had no history, no background, nothing. But he just snaps and goes in and starts shooting up the place. In Florida, a couple instances in Florida, one in Maine, I think it was in Maine. People just out of the blue just pick up a gun and start shooting people. It's like for a while there, I'm like, okay, some of this has to be staged, because people don't pick up a gun for no reason and start shooting people. They just don't.
That thing over at Sandy Hook. Brett has a conspiracy theory that Sandy Hook, that those kids never actually died or whatever. A lot of it was actors. That guy James or whatever it was with the orange hair up in Colorado, that thing was set up, that he was mind controlled or whatever. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of theories going around about this lately.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the Sandy Hook thing. I mean, like I said, where are all these people? If are they sending them to the moon and we're colonizing somewhere else with all these missing people that supposedly died? I don't know where they are, but the I just, like I said, over the course of the past 6 or 7 years, just feel like people are being manipulated in a certain way, and they're being made to almost be turned on to tune out and kill. So I don't know. Some people believe in the experiments they did back during the Cold War. Other people don't. I know the Soviet Union had a really in-depth mind control department, and whole program.
So did Hitler.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that he did a lot of experiments. I don't know about the mind control.
Look it up under RIFD, radio. I can't. Radio inter whatever. I can't say it. RIFD.
You're cutting out.
Hitler. Yeah, you were too before. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Next week I'm gonna have a bigger hard drive in this computer, so it'll work. But anyways, moving on. I got you way off topic.
So what your topic? No, it's okay. What's your topic?
Well, mine.
No. Nope.
You don't have another one?
No, mine was all on the Ebola.
Okay. Should I give myself
That's what you
an
wanted.
intro?
That's what I fed you.
Should I give myself an intro?
It's not the same type of intro because it's not Are you kidding me?
How about
I would
this?
like to ask you to join us for JK's Rant of the Moment.
You freaking kidding me? That has nothing to do
with
my topics tonight. Nothing.
Nothing at all.
But I just wanted to play it just because. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a screen share, and I'm almost thinking that I didn't even know if I want to do this tonight because it's too heavy of a topic.
Two heavy topics in a row.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do that topic tonight. It was on. I'm going to save it for later in this week because it's actually going to get. And what it is just to mention it. The gal who got a brain tumor, and she decided that her husband's birthday is October 30th or whatever. So she decided that she was going to move to Oregon with her family. She's carrying around the pill. When the pain gets to be too much, she's already scheduled herself to die on November 1st. She's decided. And I've got a couple of videos from her, from this other woman, from, I don't know, it's all like that. It's too much right now. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to do. I am going to go back to screen share just for a second because there's a couple of stories that I have on my. Let's go like this on my computer. I'm going to try, and we'll see if this shows.
Yep.
Ted Cruz. Let me pull this up here. Ted Cruz calls for a ban on travelers from African countries battling Ebola. He is setting himself up so hard to run for president. And I know that Rand Paul, Rand Paul is also, but nobody else is. I mean, nobody else. So I'm personally happy about it. I mean, thank God there's one person out there who's taking everything seriously about our country and actually really cares. I mean, and I dig this guy. I really dig this guy.
Yeah, I do too.
So
I like someone with. I love someone with a spine.
Yeah, and a soul and a heart. You know, this guy is just he's the real deal. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was good. I was listening to that video earlier. Oh, okay. This was something. It says today's funny photos. Today's funny photos will make you laugh. Just a reminder that tan leggings make bad pants.
Yes, they do. Especially
Um,
when you have a chunky monkey butt like that.
when you're in bed and you drop your phone on your face, there is nothing worse.
What the heck? What kind of phone does she have? She
No
got those
shit,
big
right?
black rotary ones or what?
That's a huge freaking scar,
That's a
right?
gash and a half.
Yeah.
That's like 10 stitches.
They're perfect. I'll take 2 pair. Uh, being weird when you're with your best friends, and then look at the horses too. I thought that was cute. I don't know why. All right. Wow, it takes a special breed of dickhead to park like this.
Yep. That's for sure.
I've seen this one before. That poor thing looks so malnutritious. Same for the cat. Is that Iggy Pop or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my
Horrifying.
mind won't process this image. My brain just broke. That somebody is pretty bored. 4 days, now down to 0 days since I brought a dead lizard into the house. The cat's on probation or on timeout.
I just had a friend who posted that, no, my cat keeps bringing in dead mice and leaving it on my bed.
Oh, geez, that's sick. Let's see. He walked 3 miles to the woman's house and returned the money. Imagine that you lived at the same time as Abraham Lincoln. What would you say to him or ask him? I'd tell him not to go to a play ever. That's a child. That's funny. I haven't read any of these. I just saw the first 2 and I said, oh, what the heck, I'm going to play them. Free movie rental, Blockbuster. How to tell if your baking soda is expired. The fall for Blockbuster Video. Oh, there's no more Blockbuster Video, so
Yeah.
they're out of business, so your baking soda is probably a little old.
Yeah.
Soon. I don't know what the heck that's all about.
I think it's the eyes, the glowing eyes inside.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Well, I was looking at the stay put, whatever it is, on top of the roof.
Oh, yeah, that's too, right? See
Yeah.
the glowing eyes in the window? And
Yeah, I
then
just caught that.
the Stay Puft guy.
Oh, that's funny. Boobs. Mittens reaching out for boobs. Wait a minute.
See, the top part looks like a pair. See, the top part looks like a pair of boobs, and the bottom part looks like a pair of mittens reaching up.
Oh! All right.
That's actually hysterical.
All right, I'm a little slow.
That's great.
When
You share
you're
that
at
one with me.
Yeah, okay. When you're at a party with people you don't know and your friend disappears, that is so true. That is so friggin' right.
Look at the eyes.
Yeah. Time to pull out the phone and pretend to start texting. Yes, that's awesome. Surprise her. Oh, right. Surprise her with a trip to the ER. Yeah. Knives. Say what you will about the immaturity of this photograph, but I dare you to find a picture of someone experiencing more pure joy than that dude in the plaid shirt right there. Oh, he lit the guy's
The guy
fart
farted
on
and
fire.
Yeah. I have a couple of brothers who've done that.
Oh, Lordy.
The perfect girlfriend always makes sure there's enough beer.
What the hell? Exact moment when you realized I was going to the vet. Open box before eating pizza. Wow.
Do you really need to be told that?
Yeah.
They're ridiculously stupid.
Patrick Stewart hiding in my friend's bed. I don't get it.
Go back to it.
Really? I don't get it. All right. Patrick Stewart.
See his face right here? The nose, like the white crease and the eyebrow and the cheek? Below the pink thing, it looks like Patrick Stewart.
Oh, the guy from Star Trek?
Yeah.
I am just so sheltered. I have no life. Oh, no, this is funny. Look at this one. FYI, I don't care to see any of your photos on your phone unless it's this one. Okay. Now that is
That's
freaking
great.
funny.
That's what you wanted to do with the other thing.
Yes, for a yearbook photo. That's awesome. Domino's. A kid at my school's backpack has a used Domino's delivery case. I bet he makes it to class in 30 minutes or less. Me. Oh, that's funny. There's bread
Oh,
inside the car. That's so
that's
sad.
so mean.
Cereal companies are really up the ante. That's funny, the cat in there. Oh, that's ironic.
No kidding, huh? Who word better?
What time do you wake up?
Uh,
I mean, actually, I wake up at 5 or 6.
yeah, my alarm goes off at about 6:15. Doesn't mean I get up at that time, but
Taylor Bass, I'm going to go outside. If anyone asks, I'm outstanding. Whatever. All right, I'm taking, I don't care about that. I'm bored. I'm at. This was kind of cool. Teen battling leukemia signs a one-game contract with Philadelphia Eagles. They're doing this thing on Share Your Story. Oh, you are freaking insane. Thank you.
got a latte?
That is a freaking latte right
There
there.
you go.
My wife.
There you go.
Yeah, freaking latte. I'm going to bet it's pumpkin. Hey, I wanted pumpkin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just I'm teasing. It was pumpkin, though. For 40 years, Ronald McDonald House has helped young people battling illness like Colin Delaney, 15-year-old battling leukemia who recently received a surprise one-game contract offer from his favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Delaney, a former middle school fullback, was invited to sit behind the Eagles bench for Sunday night's NFC game. Have you been to a pro football game?
No. Well, actually, yes. I have, but never that close. Once I was up in the stands with the Patriots.
2 years ago, I won a sales contest where I got to go to the Green Bay Packers game.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was like 10 or 15 of us, and we all went to the Packers game. And we got in Schreiber Cheese Company, that's who paid for it. We got in their suite, and their suite is at the 50-yard line, huge suite, and it's right next to the ESPN suite. So I went over and talked to Rich Gannon and those guys. And then we also got 2 seats, seat 1 and 2, row 1, 50-yard line.
Wow.
And so the whole second half, me and a buddy of mine sat down there, and I got pictures to prove it and the whole thing. It was freaking awesome.
Awesome.
And then before the game, I asked this guy, and I swear to God, I got a picture of him. He was a yard guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He looked exactly like Jerry Sandusky. I'm not even
Really?
looked exactly like Sandusky. So I asked him if I could have some grass off the field for my son who just desperately wanted it. Well, I don't have a son, but I have a boss who loves the Packers. So I got it and I put it in a little baggie. And then at a sales meeting, I had it in a baggie, and I put it in my sock. So I made a presentation to him. I pulled a bag of grass out of my sock in a baggie and gave it to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways, here he is. He's getting to spend the day with some of his friends right there at the camp, going to the game. There's Foles and LaShawn McCoy. Gave him a big surprise. Take pictures with him. Spend some time, him and his friend. I dig that. I love that when people do stuff like that.
Yep, me too. I just had another dog come underneath the table at me.
Who?
My second dog came out. Usually stays hibernating under the bed, and all of a sudden I felt a cold nose on my hand.
This is the story that we'll do next time. This woman says she will willingly die on November 1st, but I want to go through the whole story. The whole story when we have time. This is a gal, Dear Brittany. She wrote an open letter. Why we don't have to be so afraid of dying and suffering that we choose suicide. and she wrote an open letter to her. She wrote a book, and we're gonna go through this whole thing, talk about it. Here she is, and she does a couple of little YouTube videos that I got saved, and we're also going to talk about a mom who stunned doctors and beat the deadliest brain cancer. So we're going to do a story about a woman who's deciding that, you know what, I'm going out on my own terms. November 1st, I'm taking the pill because the doctors told me that it's the deadliest form of brain cancer. But here's a woman that also had it, and look at her today.
Yeah.
You just don't know. So there's a story behind all of this that, anyways, we'll get more into that. This was kind of cool, and I shouldn't have done it this far here, but I was looking at who has the most fans on Facebook. Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, 100 million fans. That's sick. That's insane.
It's soccer for you.
Man. So then I thought what we would do, and we don't have time. We're going to go through some funny pictures and a cool story. But then I was going to go through someday. What we may do is just do this. We might go through and go, hey, there's a story. Let's pick it. Boom. Let's talk about it. So we'll do that some other time. But I'm gonna get off that. My daughter in Hawaii claims that this is a new band called Banks that is really great. So. Anyways, let's go back to not sharing, and we're going to do this video. Google Hangout, stop sharing. Please stop sharing, please. I'm going to go down there.
The frizzy hair day.
We're going to do fun pics real quick, and then we're going to... I got a new song for our music. I love this song.
What is that one?
It's called Hall of Fame with the script. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay. What you do is go on YouTube and look up the script, Hall of Fame, and look up the. I don't know. I think it's going to be the what they call the official version.
Yeah.
And it's a freaking cool video. Really cool video. You'll like it. It's got a girl who's deaf who danced, like trying to get to Juilliard dance school, and a boxer, stuff like that. It's a really cool story. All right. So let's go to picks. Fun picks. I like that. I saw some of these just on Facebook. The police. Fuck. Call for backup. He has knowledge.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of the people doing that don't, but...
Right. This is so true. Facebook game requests are like Jehovah's Witness of the internet.
Yeah, but you know what, just as a sidebar note?
Yeah.
In case you're not aware of... When you sign up, like you're going to play a game, say you're going to do, Candy Crush.
Mm-hmm.
When you click all of the I agree, it says that they can post on your behalf. And they can send out friend requests and requests for the game. So people get so absolutely infuriated with other people. They don't want game requests, and you tell them all the time it's not.
It's like you're not sending it out.
No, you're not sending it out, and you have no idea that the system's sending it out.
Yeah,
they're just sending it out.
That's a good point.
Just block the games. Stop complaining on Facebook about, not you personally. I'm saying people in general, stop complaining on Facebook about game requests. Just go right-click on the corner and stop all game requests from that game, and you're good to go. You'll never get another one.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
just block them, and it's good. Now, I was thinking about this for your area, because you get a lot of snow during this winter. Andrew does. This would be so freaking cool. Wouldn't that be? Just put those in the bottom of your shoe. It's just like a fit-on. Okay, let's see what else.
Hi, Pup.
I shouldn't have done this one with you. I thought the guys were going to be on. I get 60 miles per gallon. What do you get? Laid.
Laid. He'd better get
Yeah,
laid in that car.
do that with you. I love this. Lawyers, ditch her quick and hide. Divorce lawyers.
Brett would have liked that one.
Yeah. And then the next one, the top, 98% effective is condoms, 99% effective. And then I always say, the best form of birth control is Crocs. Wear Crocs out to the club.
Oh yeah.
Or sandals.
My Crocs are strictly for the backyard in case I step on a landmine and I need to wash them off. That's the only time I wear my Crocs. They're perfect for backyard with dogs.
My husband is a lying, crack-smoking gay Muslim, and my balls itch.
Joan told us.
Yes. 19,250 deadly Islamic attacks since 9/11 and counting. It's not Islamophobia, it's Islamoralism. Paid for by the American Freedom Defense Initiative. I think that's an actual real sign. It's a counting sign.
Probably is.
National debt sign. There's someone for everyone, and the person for you is a psychiatrist.
Some of those memes.
This was yours, so I wanted to ask you about this. So if you're gonna make a U-turn, you bang a Yui. Is that what it is?
Bang a Yui. Yep.
Hey, bang a Yui up there.
Bang a Yui.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Then this one that I sent you.
Target.
Hey, it's Target. Target.
I think that's the Target near my house, actually.
That's funny. And this one you sent, how do you say that?
Bumper sticker.
Bumper sticker. I love this. I've seen this 100 times. I've never shared it, but I've always wanted to. The grass is always greener on the other side because it's fertilized with bullshit.
Isn't that the truth, huh?
Yeah. And then I saved this one for last because I love this one. Now, I've always got a saying, a champion isn't someone who never falls, it's someone who gets up when they do. But I looked at this and I kind of thought to myself, I kind of related it to this show, in that we've stubbed our toes trying to get it going. I'm so mad all freaking week trying to figure out how to get a phone call on here. So much so that I'm going to show you something. I went out and I put freaking money into this damn show. See that? I bought a freaking...
Oh, you finally bought it? The mixer?
Yeah, I bought the mixer, but my head is going to explode trying to figure out how to plug all the pieces in and this and that. And no, it's not that hard. I've watched 500 YouTube videos. I've read. I got it. Well, the problem is that my microphone is a USB microphone, and you need two other kind of plugs, and it's been a freaking nightmare. So, anyways, I'm just trying to get this done, and so that sign right there. What defines us is how well we rise after falling. Over the last couple of years of trying to do a show and put something together, it's slowly inching itself to something that's more viable and a little better each time. And I've fell so many times and been so frustrated at times, but what defines us is how well we rise, and that's my goal with all of this. All right, so I'm going to get off this. I got a cool story that I don't know. I'm going to show my girly side when I do shit like this. I had to say shit because I have to act tough again for 1 second. I liked this. We are going to start it at the beginning. Let me turn this up.
Like when your foot wakes up from being asleep, feels like that 24/7.
I should really try and start things at the beginning. Here we go.
A perfect day for a wedding. Everyone waiting to see the bride. They're about to have an unforgettable surprise.
Oh, it's so nice.
The bride is Gina Jeffaloni. She's paralyzed from the belly button down since a car crash 6 years ago.
Basically, my legs feel like when your foot wakes up from being asleep, feels like that 24/7.
But she's never let her accident stop her. This once determined athlete still coaches using her upper body strength. Her contagious attitude and smile led her to John.
He's just that wonderful of a guy that doesn't see the chair and just sees me for me and forgets about how I get around. I did stand today, so that makes sense. Ready? 2, 3.
And when wedding planning began, Gina told her dad she wanted to walk by his side.
I told her whether we roll down that aisle or whether we walk down that aisle, we're going to do this. Whichever way we have to do it, it's been her dream. Obviously, it's the dad's dream to have the honor of walking with daughter down that aisle. Good?
Dad. I'm my dad's only girl, and I'm the baby. Dad deserves that. Gina, hit it. No pressure.
So the work began. Months of therapy at CHI Health Rehabilitation Center and a manual just to teach Gina's body how to straighten tall again.
Got it.
Months more with her dad working on every little motion. Remember, Gina can't feel her legs.
When you can't feel anything, and you're doing something that you used to do, that you used to take for granted, because I did. Everybody did, you know. But when you're back up and doing it, and especially having Dad on my arm, it makes it's a floating that you can't even explain. It's not even about the walking. I mean, your emotions are floating. Everything just seems to feel so good.
Everyone stops and watches Gina while she's here. Prosthetic specialists even redesigned the boxy brace into something that would be hidden under Gina's wedding gown.
We're looking at you. You're John.
And while fiancé John and her close family know, no one else is in on the secret that Gina will be walking down that aisle. Finally, that day is here. A year and a half leading up to this one moment.
You can bet you make this old boy's day. Hey, pretty girl, won't you look my way?
The crowd silent, in tears. And when the time comes for Dad to give his daughter away,
I want to give you a hug. I know.
Gina and John stand face to face to exchange their vows.
Gina Marie, you are my best friend, the love of my life. The love of my life.
Today, tomorrow,
All the days of our life.
and all the days of our lives. And you're gonna sweep me off your feet.
Kiss.
Yeah.
To so many here, this was a fairy tale come true.
Brought tears to my eyes. The scene was pretty amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. She looked beautiful, and it was just great.
Can I kiss her?
Gina's story shows any dream can become reality.
I look at it as I might be having a bad day, but I'm having a day. I'm here and I'm able to have a day, you know, and this walk down the aisle might not be what I always envisioned it would be, but we're having a walk down the aisle and it's happening, and there's no way that anybody could be upset about that. I mean, you're here, you're blessed, and if I can help somebody in some way to maybe look at their life a little bit differently and be blessed to have their own day, that's why I'm having a day in my eyes.
Pretty cool.
See, I have to watch these things ahead of time, sometimes twice, so I don't cry during the show.
Yeah, Brett would definitely take your man card.
Yeah, he would. I've given up my man card a long time ago. I don't know. I'm really of the mind lately. I'm confused a little bit. I'm not confused. I don't know. It's just so. These times we live in. I mean, they call for being outraged and taking call to action and stuff because of just the monstrosities that are going on with our society and government and everything. And then at the exact same time, I'm torn because it's wrong if we allow those things to strip us of these things, like we just saw. It's wrong to allow our real moments with family be ripped from us and our joy because of all of the garbage out there. I don't know. I think that's where maybe focusing. How do you focus on really fun, positive, great stuff while also focusing on the battle and fighting? I don't know. To juggle that, it's hard.
It is hard. I agree. But the battle has to go on.
Because they're both important. It the health and life of our country as we know it is important. And so are moments like that, for that couple, or for a kid who's battling cancer, getting to meet a football player, or whatever. I don't know. We just went on the Make-A-Wish trip here a few months ago. The times with family and all that stuff. We're not designed to live on this earth forever. This is a temporary spot.
Yeah, but unfortunately, without the first, you don't have a possibility of the second. Without America, no other place in the world you get to go on trips because your kid is sick.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're lucky if you even get any medical attention in most of the world. So
True.
all of those type of things and all those things that make us happy they're not here. Nope, I think I lost Jim for some reason. Jim? Where are you, Jim? Well, I'm sorry, but we lost Jim. I don't know where he went. Hopefully there he is. Now he's joining us back. What the heck happened to you? James? Jim? Where are you? What the heck happened to you?
I broadcasted some unauthorized material apparently, and Google threatened to not allow us to do that and kick us off and all of that, and so I said okay, and
allowed you to log back in.
Okay, it ended it. It said you're done. That's all right.
Great.
I don't care. I've done it before.
So, anyways, yeah. So without America, we don't get to have all of those things that make us happy. So.
True.
Some of us can fight the fight. Some can't. Some can take it. Some can't. Some have time for it. Some don't.
Right.
So those of us who do have to fight on.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I think that's why we need to balance what we do here on the show. Because Glenn Beck does that type of stuff. He's smart enough to know that, a lot of his show is a call to, a call for action, a call for
call to arms.
To wake up, a call to arms to wake up. And then he also balances it with truly passionate, good stories, and that's important. So, anyways, we're gonna stay on for just a minute. We're gonna tell everybody goodbye. Google Plus is freaking out again to Hangout on air, saying you broadcast this stuff or whatever. So
which stuff do you think it was the video or some of the pictures?
No, it'd be the video.
Oh, okay.
It'd be the video, probably because I who knows. But anyways, I'm gonna stop broadcasting. So everybody go ahead.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye. Oh, it won't let me watch. Stop. Are you there? Amy?